Oh my gosh, you're a professor at NYU. You have written 2 books. You have worked on over 22 Broadway shows. Your work has generated over $22 million. But the most important question is, how do you like your tea? When was the first time you were really nervous, and when was the last?
First time, probably my first speech I ever did on audience development back in the early 2000s. Actually, yes, it was with the Arts Marketing, the Arts Marketing Conference.
Oh,
it
yes.
was in Seattle. There were over 500 people there. And the person speaking before me was using a PowerPoint, and the tech went down. He couldn't proceed because he didn't have slides. And I remember saying to myself, I'm so glad you don't have slides. I'm just going to talk. And something kind of took over me while I was speaking, and I just really had a great time. And I remember people afterwards, you know, they got a standing ovation, and people rushed over to me, and that was the beginning, really, of my consulting business really taking off.
When you were in that moment, did you feel like, you're like, I actually am never going to go on slides and script again and just speak from the heart? Did that happen?
Yes, I prefer not to use them. Some places ask for them. Okay, I'll give you a 2. But I just don't want you looking at the slides. I want you looking at me.
And then when was the last time you were nervous?
Oh, I'm not nervous anymore.
Really?
No.
You fixed it. You were like, I don't get nervous.
This is who I am.
Oh.
There's nothing else.
Oh my God. That is such
nervous.
a nice thing to get to. Where
It
you're just
is.
like, I'm calm, I am me, this is who I am.
Well, 40 years.
Yeah.
I should be. I should be.
40 years of doing this work.
45.
45. Oh my gosh, do you have those 25-year buttons,
No,
right? Like
but
3.
I could.
Yes.
I could. Yeah.
So then what was your first show, and what types of theater do you like?
So A Little Night Music.
Oh my
That was
God.
my first show.
Oh.
My dance director took my twin sister and I to see.
Wait, you're a twin?
Yes,
I'm a
am.
twin.
Hush.
Yes, I have a twin sister. We're fraternal.
We are too.
What? Oh my God, twins!
Fabulous.
Twinning.
Gemini. We're Geminis.
Oh, Gemini. That's like double twins.
Oh, yes, at least 50 of us on any day, on any given day.
It's amazing.
So my dance director took us to see A Little Night Music. It was on tour in Chicago.
Okay. And then what type of theater do you like?
I like all types. I love musicals, but I really love a good drama.
Yes.
So
yes.
I like both.
It's like so.
I'm not linked into just one.
Right.
Yeah.
They hit different things.
They do,
Yeah.
especially when they're well done.
Yeah.
Not
oh
all
my
of them
gosh.
are.
When a good
but-
play gets you, you're just
Yes.
like, where did the time go?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
Before the theater knew your name, what was your day-to-day?
I guess you're talking about when I was practicing law.
That's right.
So then I was in court
you were
or interviewing clients.
Yes.
That was my day to day.
Wait, how did that transition happen? Were you like
So
law, never mind, theater?
I grew up as a dancer
Yeah.
in Chicago, and I loved dance. But when I got married and moved to New York, after law school, I figured I should be a professional. So
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to practice law, and I'll take dance classes when I have time.
Right. The
But
dancing
I really
lawyer.
missed dancing.
Yeah.
And one of my colleagues said, you know, there's a performing arts organization across the street from family court. I was prosecuting juveniles in family court. And so I went over there, I went across the street, opened the door, and I said, this is it. There was paper everywhere. It was a total chaos. And I said, I know my alphabet, I can organize you. So every day in my lunch hour, I went over and I would file, and then I started to read the papers, and I saw press releases, proposals. I said, oh, I could do this. So I basically taught myself arts administration on my lunch hour while prosecuting juveniles. But my lunch hour started to extend until 3 or 4 o'clock.
Right.
Supposed to be back at 2.
Yeah.
Judges were looking for
They were
Counsel
like-
Walker. Where is she? Somebody said, she's across the street. So I knew it was time to go. I found my mission.
And you never went back to law. You never like.
Not prosecuting.
Yeah.
But you never you don't lose it.
Right.
So this is why everybody should go to law school.
Yeah.
Teaches you how to think.
Yeah.
Yes, how to analyze, how to be proactive, how to focus, how to get results.
And how to do your own contracts.
Well, that too. Yes. Well,
Okay, tell us about your new book. This is your second novel.
Yes.
Champions for the Arts.
Yes.
Right here.
Yes.
Tell me all about it. I'm
Okay.
obsessed.
So in 2019, I decided it's time for another book because Invitation to the Party had been my first book that I wrote.
Which was incredible. You must read this book. It's set the stage.
Yes, 2005, I wrote that.
Wow.
So it's time for an update. So at the same time, I've been doing a lot of community engagement work at New Jersey Performing Arts Center, where I've been working now for 14 years.
Yep.
And I created a community engagement department there. And I realized the value of taking the arts to the people, to the community, and without any expectation that they're going to come back to you.
Right.
Just take it, give it. Belongs to the universe.
Yeah.
And it becomes a bridge. And ultimately, people will find their way to you. And so fortunately at NJPAC, John Schreiber, Dave Rodriguez listened to me, and they said, you got it. And so I was able to develop programs like dancing in your community, books on the move, jazz jams, initiatives that were taking hard to sell art forms into the community in structured environments, free, but where people could come and discover what it's like. And so after seeing the results of that, I thought, I need to write about that. But in the meantime, I'm still doing a lot of traveling and consulting and lecturing, and I'm seeing all these other examples of people who I started to call champions for the arts, people who are making the arts accessible.
Yeah.
You know, and they're doing it from their hearts. And I thought, I should write about this too. So it combined. So then, so 2019, so I'm bopping around. Then we get the murder of George Floyd, and we get the pandemic.
Yeah.
So now I have to talk about how do you do the arts inside, where people can't come, we can't take it out. What does that look like? Fortunately at NJPAC, we pivoted very quickly and we put everything online, and just thousands of people taking dance classes with us in their kitchens. All kinds of wonderful
through
things
Zoom,
happened.
right?
Yes.
You did it through and streamed them and then posted on YouTube after. It was
great. Yeah, so all of that, we discovered all of that, and then I realized that, I got this covered. So now let's get this book out. Yeah. And so I'm working with a theater communications group to get it edited, published. So finally, that happened this past October. So I believe that this book is an opportunity for people in the arts and people in communities who aren't even connected to the arts to realize that there's a way we can work together by making the arts accessible, by bringing the arts with you. Whoever you are, take it with you. Just wear it like a coat, meaning take a flyer with you. Go across the street and volunteer. To help do some hours over here, pick up the phone, all kinds of things. And I think when we can talk about our arts experiences, we can kind of diminish some of the hatred.
Before the pandemic, the numbers, I think you quote this, it was like 30% of audiences were essentially diverse, but after the pandemic, that went up. And I think you were a big part of this, right? Tell me, like, what happened? How did that happen? And how do we keep going with this?
So my first Broadway show was Twilight, Los Angeles, Anna Devere Smith.
Oh my God, yes.
Working at the Public Theater, with George. George C. Wolfe. And George was, just directing all kinds of amazing productions and started transferring shows to Broadway. We did The Tempest with Patrick Stewart. That transferred to Broadway. And so my job, at the time I was Director of Community Affairs, so my job was to make sure the very same way we were nurturing new audiences at the Public Theater, to do that on Broadway. And so that was my entree into Broadway, was bringing these same strategies and audiences with me. But it was bringing the noise, bringing the funk, that changed everything.
Tell me about that
experience. That was a game changer.
Like, and how, was that goes to, again, your first book, An Invitation to the Party. The show was the invitation, and you really made the invitation even more accessible. Talk about that.
Well, when you get a gift like that show from George C. Wolfe, you can do anything. And one of the joys of working with George was the trust. I could do anything. Things I didn't even know I was doing. And I was never questioned as to, well, why are you doing that? It was like, go for it. Let's make it happen. So with Noise Funk, we had the beauty of dance, We had a fantastic story.
Yeah.
Because I kept saying, this is theater, I need a story that people can understand.
Yep.
And even though the title, some people were like, what in the world is that? We can work around that once you got to the meat of it.
The meat of it.
And so Noise Funk gave me the opportunity to cultivate multiple audiences, you know, the ones I already had at the public, the African-American groups who were so excited that there was something that they could connect to. I had group leaders on so many levels. I had the Muslim community, I had the faith-based community, I had the dancers from the time we closed at the public till we could get into the Ambassador Theater. So about 3 months.
Yeah.
Every day I had them out. We were going to people's homes. We were going to their organizations. We just visited every place.
Like you actually went and hit the streets. And
oh
you were
yeah,
like,
with them. With them and tools. We had fans. We had the videotape. 60 Minutes had done a wonderful piece on us with Felicia Rashad narrating.
Yes.
So I could take that. I had tools.
Yeah.
So I could take all of that so they could see this is what the show is about.
Yeah.
Because that's what people needed to see. And once you saw those dancers, Savion, all the kids, they were great. And Ducanay, they were just excellent. So having all those tools provided the muscles for me to go and really take the show around. So when the time we opened, group sales were thriving. We were flying.
Yeah.
And people wanted to pay top price. I had young students, high school students. At that time, the orchestra seat was $75. And they were saying, no, I want that seat. I don't want to sit up high. I want to see the beads of perspiration.
Yeah.
I want to be up front.
Yeah.
And so then I started getting calls from Broadway producers asking me, okay, now how are you doing this? How are you consistently bringing all of these Black people to Broadway?
Yeah.
So my life became the bridge.
Yes.
And you can do that when you're not married, don't have kids, and you just, this is all you do 24/7. So I had the time to invest in all these different areas.
Well, actually, that's really interesting when you had said that you got calls from other shows being like, how are you doing this?
Yeah.
It's interesting. I truly believe if you just do really great work, more work comes.
Definitely.
And that happened to you because you really did start this idea of really finding new audiences, right? And you kind of crafted this and created this for Broadway as it is, as we see it now. And did you know you were doing that at the time? Did you think this was?
I didn't really think about it because I'm very results driven. So I just wanted to make sure I was making goals, that I was encouraging people who looked like me, that people felt safe, that they felt joy, and many of them, most of them are still with me today.
I love that. I love that. You've always known audience development wasn't just outreach, but community development. Right. Has the industry caught up to what you've always known?
Well, Broadway is not designed for community engagement.
Really?
No. Because that means that you would be taking the product to various communities. You know, it's not structured that way.
Okay.
You know, you have a marketing team, they're looking at how many hits can they get, they're looking at social media, and a few key events that they might do.
Right.
But events are different from taking it to an organization and is having us sit there and talk with you without expecting something back. So this is what needs to happen. Broadway needs an umbrella.
Yes.
That's not limited to the show or the running of the show, but that when we talk about Broadway, there's a constant engagement with communities.
Yes.
Constant. What's the show this week? Fine, we'll take this one. Okay, that one closed. No problem. Let's take this one.
Yeah.
It needs to be continuous, just predictable, you know, and opportunistic.
Yeah.
Where we see these moments where there's a street fair, Broadway needs to be there.
Yeah.
You know, where there are these heritage days. Where are we for MLK? Broadway needs to be at every event. You know, where are we for in Black History Month? Where are we for Asian American? So it needs to be consistent, not relegated to the show.
Right.
The show closes.
Yeah.
Then everything stops.
Yep.
And then everyone goes away.
Yeah.
So then you have to start all over again with a new show.
The data's gone, everything's gone.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it needs to be consistent, someone driving that to say, that would be the community engagement for Broadway.
Yeah. It seems, it's so interesting too, because this is a long game, right?
Yes, it is.
I think you've changed the makeup for audiences for decades. What were some key moments that you could truly feel this shift?
On Broadway?
In general.
Well, certainly, I'll start with dance. You know, my work at Dance Theater of Harlem absolutely changed the dynamics of audience. African Americans did not want to see classical ballet.
Really?
In the 70s, in the 80s. No. They said, that's white. Why would I go see a white dance form? No way.
Yeah.
And so with my work and, with Arthur Mitchell and, of course, the company themselves, I was able to try to change that myth that you don't belong.
Yeah.
But in fact, this is ours. Come on, let's go. And I did that nationally.
Yeah.
So traveling around to all the different cities. So that was a really important moment.
Yeah.
Being able to see that now manifest in how, audiences of all colors feel very comfortable seeing classical ballet, and the art form changed as well to become more accessible.
Yeah.
It's not all just Balanchine. There's a lot of new choreographers as well. So that's helpful. And certainly with theater, definitely all my work at the Public, I think the golden moment was Top Dog, Underdog.
Yes, iconic.
I did not have to do anything. I just looked at the phone because it kept ringing. And I'm just picking up the phone, taking orders, answering questions. But it was a manifestation of all the work we've done because the Public had invested in Suzan-Lori Parks. This was her 5th play we had done.
That's right.
The Public. And I had taken her everywhere from the very first play, the American, what was it, American something. I didn't understand that play.
Yeah.
I told George, I said, I don't know what to do with this. And George said, don't worry. She's one of our country's greatest playwrights, and we're going to do her work. So I said, okay, so that means I need to get to understand her. So I went up to her and I said, I don't understand what you're writing about. I'm sure it's important and fabulous, but I just don't get it. And this was my first season at the Public. So I didn't have a theater background at all. My background was dance. That I know thoroughly.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
know
law.
Theater. Yes. And so she was great. She said, well, so we went to lunch, we talked. Then I started to take her around to different events and hear her talk about her work and her process. And that's when things really started to change. So by the time we got to her 5th play, Top Dog, Underdog, I had built that audience, loyalty, people wanting to follow her. I would get phone calls. I want that play that Susan lady's doing.
Yes.
They didn't know the name of it. And it didn't matter. They just wanted her work.
Right.
That to me is the ultimate success of building an audience.
Yes.
Where actually, it doesn't matter what it is. I just want to see it because this person did it. And I know it'll be good. I know it'll be satisfying. And so that was another wonderful moment.
Yeah. And investing in the artists. The time it took, that you had to take.
Having that opportunity.
And the access. I mean, it's hard to get access to the artists.
Well, the beautiful thing about working in the Public, my office was right by the bathroom. So I saw everybody. And I would just stand in the doorway and I would be like, come on in. Let me ask you about, I remember Jessica Hagedorn, I would grab her, Nilo Cruz, I got all of them.
I really gotta go, Donna.
Right, so I got quick answers. So that was part of my strategy, for sure. And then my other strategy that really worked, I made sure that I would go to every meet and greet, whether it was on Broadway, Off-Broadway, or the Public, and I would just go up to everyone and say, so my name is Donna. I'm in charge of making sure you have an audience. When I call you, just say yes.
I love this.
And I said, give me your cell number because I don't have time to go through your 5 people. Give me your cell.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
I think this is a very important point, especially for younger people that might be watching.
Yeah.
What you just said is something that I think people are afraid of, but they're, it's like the younger people are like, I'm afraid I can't go up to them, I can't talk to them, but you're working on the show, right? Like
exactly. And we're the same.
Yeah, we're the same.
We're the same.
It's
so
just
I never
go up
felt,
to them.
Yes, I never felt that I couldn't speak to anyone.
You're on that title page too,
Yes. I was happy to go. So that strategy has worked really well. I did that with Lawrence Fishburne when he did Thurgood on Broadway.
Yeah, you're like, hey, Lawrence.
Well, I had my daughter with me because she was like 3. The babysitter had canceled and we had the meet and greet. I was like, I have to be there. I said, look, be invisible. I told my daughter 3, I said, just be invisible. Don't say anything. She was like, okay, Mommy. So we're going there. As soon as she sees him, she goes, Aquila and the Bee. And she ran to him. No. He scooped her up and he carried her around for the whole meet and greet.
No. Oh my God.
Yes. I thought I was going to die. I was like, oh no, now this is it.
You're like, oh no.
But then Aquila and the Bee. Yeah. And she watched it every day. That was her movie. Oh my God. Every day. So she knew him.
Oh, wow.
So when she saw him, that was it. And it was just so unadulterated love that he just picked her right up. So that allowed me to get to him a lot easier.
Okay, well, that's a good strategy. Bring it
Right.
through.
Who knew? Who knew?
Speaking of strategies, what is a go-to strategy that always brings new audiences out? You don't have to tell me your secrets, but like, what is something that feels obvious to you that's like, this is gonna bring some new audiences?
So I would say my work on Margaret Garner, the opera, was a really good template. Again, it's great when you're working with producers or directors who trust you and give you a budget. We can't approach this work just based on good looks. It costs money. And so you have to demand that. That has to be in the room. So New York City Opera was doing an opera called Margaret Garner. And this was a true story, based on a slave woman who murdered her daughter rather than having her brought up as a slave. So it took place on a big plantation. And of course, the subject matter is very difficult. I got a call. We would love you to help us bring in the Black community, because we don't have any. I said, and this is the story? A mother murdering her daughter? Okay. Okay. So we put everything
You said yes.
in place. Of course, I love a challenge. Oh yes, I'm gonna always say yes.
That sounds hard. I mean, that is, okay, yes.
I need advertising budget.
Okay.
I need time. I need press.
Okay.
I need groups. I need access to groups, and I need tools and offers to give to them. When you have all of that, that's kind of like my winning formula.
Right.
And so, they gave me an advertising budget. I was shocked.
And to be clear, your own, because normally these things are siphoned off to sort of more,
that's right.
I don't want to say traditional, but like what you would normally do on Broadway, right?
Exactly.
And there are many, for those who don't know, there are many papers, outlets. It's just it's niche community, right? So it's like in all different kinds, a lot of budget is strangled to reach these outlets and support these organizations, right? So
that's right. So I had a dedicated budget that allowed me to purchase print ads. And back then, this was like in the 90s, print was still valuable. And so.
But that was expensive.
Well, the Black papers were so shocked that I actually had cash that they doubled the buy. So I got 6 weeks instead of like 3 weeks. So that was great. And then I did radio as well, WBLS, all of those, and I had packages and plans. And then 2 things happened. When I discovered that it was taking place on a plantation, there were lots of children, then I knew there were lots of parents. And I know parents want to make sure their kids have an audience that is successful. So I asked for permission to come to one of the rehearsals and asked if I could speak to the parents. And I gave them a script of what I would say. It was simply, parents, I know how excited you are to be performing at the Met Opera House, because it was at the Met Opera House.
Wow.
And we want to make sure this audience is reflective of who we are. I'm going to need your help. This is all you have to do. Give me the names and numbers of your top 30 friends. I'll do the rest. And they did. So I called all these parents, and all I said was, hi, my name is Donna. I saw your friend Ann at rehearsal today. You know her daughter's performing in this opera at the Met, right? Yeah. She said you had about 50 people you want to bring. All I need is your credit card number. And that's what I did. Just boom, boom, boom.
Bold.
Each one.
And it worked?
But that's what the arts allow you to do.
Yeah.
You can be bold with the arts, because we're warriors.
Right.
Yeah, I'm fearless.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's remembering that what we have is a gift.
Yes.
Yes, it is an exchange of commerce and money, but it is a gift.
It really is.
I love that.
So I got all these groups from the moms.
Yeah.
Then the New York City Opera hired Spoonbread Catering. That was such a statement to the Black community. They're like, they have Spoonbread for opening night? Oh, I want to go. So people were buying tables just because Spoonbread was catering.
That's amazing.
So you had this combination of all these wonderful points of intersection that equaled Black people are in the house. So by the way, when I went to see the performance, there's a white woman sitting next to me, and she was very uncomfortable with my being there. And I asked her what was her problem. And she didn't say anything. She was just twitching her shoulders and everything. I said, you probably should come another night, because I'm here tonight. So you can come another night. And that actually happened to me when I went to see at the Met, Fire Shut Up in Your Bones. That happened again to me there. This woman that said, you're in my seat. because I had gotten house seats.
Yeah.
And the woman, she said, "You're in my seat." I said, "No, here's the number. I matched my ticket to the seat number on the back."
Yeah.
She said, "No, but that's my seat." I said, "No, it's not. And I'm sitting here." And so the lights were starting to come down and people were saying, "Shh, shh, sit down,
Yeah,
sit down. So then the usher comes, she says, "What's the problem?" I said, "This woman who obviously can't read, she's, I see you're letting in people who really have a lot of difficulties, that she can't understand anything. And this is my seat and the show's about to start." And so she asked to see the ticket and she said, "Ma'am, your seat is next to her. Her seat was right next to me." So during the first intermission, I turned to her and I said, "What part of what I said did you not understand? I am deeply insulted. How dare you?" And she said, "Well, I'm just accustomed to that seat." I said, "But that's not the issue. I told you what the seat was." I said, "You cannot continue to live this way."
Oh my, what'd she say?
Nothing.
She just rustled up and sat back.
I was so done with her. She's lucky because I'm from the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
We could have handled this a whole different way.
Oh.
But I was a guest. I was a guest of the Met.
Taking out the
That's
rings.
right.
You're like,
Guest of the
taking out
Met.
the rings.
I'm going to be on good behavior. I'm going to be very nice.
Oh my God.
I was ready to take her out. Right there. So anyway, so back to the New York City Opera, Margaret Gardner. So when all these pieces came together, at the end of the run, we got a lovely letter from the marketing director that said, "Thank you so much. We had 37% attendance by African Americans. We've never had 3%.
Oh my God.
And to have this much was just so significant. So they hired us for the next 3 years to continue to build on these audiences. And one of the things we did for MLK, they gave me Black opera singers to take to the churches around in Harlem and Brooklyn to sing Coretta Scott's favorite aria. Who even knew that?
Didn't even.
They did the research and they had it translated to English so the congregation could follow along. Those details. That's what makes a difference.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna play a game I love. It's called Sip or Spill. Okay, we have 30 seconds for each question. You can answer the question in 30 seconds. But if you don't want to answer it because it's so sensitive, just take a sip, okay? So it's sip or spill. Okay, here we go. Can you read me your last text?
Okay, it was to my friend Melissa. I was inviting her to an event and she had asked me to send it to her.
Amazing.
So I did.
Okay, love that. What do you think about shows that market itself for everyone, but price itself for almost no one?
Well, clearly they're not for everyone. And the everyone means a certain demographic. And so that the person that's marketing it has completely missed the opportunity to bring in the rest of America. So too bad for them.
Genius. How many times have you wanted to say Google is free in a room full of executives?
Actually, not as often as one might think because they don't know what to look for. And they think they already know, and they don't.
Well said. Okay, who is this?
That's Mila, my grand dog.
Your grand dog?
Yes, my daughter's dog.
I mean, why are they so fabulous?
Oh, she's amazing.
Oh my God, look at that pink.
Yes.
Okay, great. I saw that on your Instagram and I was like, who is this? I need to know. Okay, tell me the craziest story of a marketing meeting.
Probably being asked to market a show with no budget when the people next to me are getting $100,000, $150,000. New York Times ads have been decided upon. We're going to do a double truck, color page. And I asked for $5,000 and I was told no. That actually was my last show. That was my last show.
I'll drink to that. You win.
Thank you.
You didn't have to sip once. After all of this has been said and all that we've talked about, why do you do this? Why do you love the theater?
Oh, that's my mission. My mission in life is to create access to arts, culture, theater. It's who I am. I can't imagine in this lifetime any other purpose for my life. So I want to make sure that all kinds of people feel and can claim their seat, they feel comfortable, and that they can enjoy different stories. Yeah, this is who I am.
I love that. So for the theater to survive for the next 100 years, what needs to change?
The mindset of the producers, that it's not just for white people, and that there has to be inclusion on every level, and it has to be completely different from what you've been doing before. And you cannot marginalize people of color and how much you're going to give them in comparison to everything else. The budgets have to be equal. Producers coming on board, you have to recognize, I need the same million you gave this one. I need to be able to engage in a very equitable way that's joyful, that's respectful. But that can't happen if you don't value people who don't look like you. It can't happen if you think there's something wrong with them or they're less than you. So there's a significant kind of cultural mindset that has to change. I'm not sure what the catalyst of that would be, but that's how deep it is.
I love that. I love that, especially because so many shows and producers just feel like it's an afterthought, right? And
when the show's not selling, that's when I would get the calls.
Yeah, they're like,
and they would say it very transparent. We're having a little trouble with the box office. Can you help us out? I said, nope, nothing I can do. So sorry, bye-bye.
A little late.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, we need to be there when you hire your general manager and your press. You need to have the person of color there that's doing your audience development, all at the same time, same pay, same resources. Then we'll talk about sustainability for the next 100 years. Until then,
I will drink to that.
Me too.
Cheers.
Yes.
With that, I got you a little something.
Woo-hoo.
This is something I thought you would really love.
Oh
It's in my little tea. Okay, so here we go. Open this up because
Thank
you have been an incredible.
Wow. I got chills.
You have been a bridge to the community for so long, and I just thought it was so fabulous to get you a bridge brooch.
Oh my gosh.
So you can always.
Thank you. I've never had this.
Oh my God, you are the bridge.
Yes.
And this is what you do.
Thank you. This is so kind.
Lastly, Donna, steep thoughts. Anything you'd like to leave with? What is your steep thought?
So I would like everyone who's listening to claim and adopt an arts organization. I want people to go outside of their home and see who's to the right and the left and go. Be an usher. Pick up the phone. Give some money. Write a check. Lend your advice. Do something. That's what I want everyone to do. I'm going on a 50-state tour with my book, Acknowledging Champions for the Arts. When I finish, this country's going to look a lot different. That's my gift to America, to the world.
Bravo, bravo. And you've got to get the book, Champions for the Arts.
Yes.
Also, your first book. How can we find the book?
Oh, they're on Amazon, they're on TCG, they're on Indie Books.
Donna, thank you so much. I love you so much.